Good evening, and welcome to another special, holiday special.
Hi.
WHEELZ Fury, me, Matt, Killer Kyle, and yes, it's time once again to talk about another classic pay-per-view. Last year we talked about WWE. Actually, I think we talked about WWE twice now.
I believe so.
We did WCW. And now we actually talk about WCCW. Star Wars 1984.
Right.
And I actually messed up a little bit because I looked at the wrong match card. Star Wars happened in the 80s a lot. They had Thanksgiving, they had Christmas,
Yes.
Labor Day.
Yes.
So, obviously, yes, 1984, we talk about this in Dallas, Texas.
Yes, sir.
And what a show this was. I mean, it was just simple professional wrestling at its best.
Yeah.
So, here we go. Now this match we didn't see, we got Kelly Kiniski, who defeated Buck Zukov. But not
I
sure.
think it was Bakazumov, not Bakazukov. Rock and roll Bakazumov. What we watched, we didn't see this match.
No. But Kelly ended up winning.
Yeah.
Obviously don't know who Kelly Kiniski is. I wonder if she is related to Jean. Possibly. I'll have to look it up. She
Yeah.
he Buck Zukov is the scum of the earth. But anyways,
Yeah. Yeah. Then we go into Rip Oliver taking on Iceman King Parsons.
yeah. I mean, I've seen Iceman a few times
Yes.
over the years, and quite a unique individual.
Indeed.
Oliver is called the Crippler,
Yes.
which was pretty interesting because I don't know a lot of like spectacular moves that he did.
No, I mean, I think he has the nickname the Crippler because he supposedly ended a lot of people's careers in wrestling. But, like, not really knowing much about Rip Oliver, aside from watching him on this show.
Yeah,
Now, I mean, we all know, of course, of Chris Benoit being nicknamed the Crippler, of course. Prior to that, even Rip Oliver used the name, or the nickname. Ray Stevens had the nickname the Crippler.
okay. Forgot about that one.
Yes.
I mean, this was a good match. Again, a lot of classic wrestling,
Yes.
but Iceman won.
And yes, he did. And quite a good match.
Yes.
Yeah, I know quite a bit more about Iceman. Having watched quite a bit of World Class Championship Wrestling stuff. Not so much about Rip Oliver, but yeah.
Yeah. We now go on to. I actually didn't see this one either.
No.
We know this guy very well, though. Jose Lothario, who defeated El Diablo Grande.
Yes. Now, we know Jose Lothario as the trainer of the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Jose did have, I'm not sure how long he wrestled for, but he did have quite an extensive wrestling career. He wrestled for the World Class Championship Wrestling. I'm not sure where else he wrestled prior as well.
Yeah, I mean, he did win this match too.
Right.
Don't know much about.
Diablo Grande.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we go on to the American Tag Team Championship match. Fantastics, Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers taking on the Midnight Express, Beautiful Bobby Eaton, and Loverboy Dennis Condren. Yes, this was prior to Stan Lane being a member of the Midnight Express.
Is it just me, or did they forget to see who was gonna wear red trunks? With both teams. Well,
Yeah, well, I mean, you had the Fantastics in red trunks. You had the Midnight Express in red pants and red tights.
okay.
So, yeah, but yes, both teams were in red.
Yeah. I mean, this was a very good match too.
Yes.
And you forget how good the Fantastics were. Like I said many years ago, I don't remember those guys when I was little compared to Midnight Express.
And see, I feel like the Fantastics are... I don't really think they're a forgotten tag team. They're definitely not an underrated tag team. They're just not a tag team that gets mentioned when there's talk of, tag teams dragging out the greatest tag teams of all time or whatever. Yes, you're gonna mention the Midnight Express, the Rock and Roll Express, the Freebirds, the Rockers, the Legion of Doom, the Nasty Boys, Harlem Heat, etc., etc. For some reason, the Fantastics just aren't really a team that's mentioned, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But they were a real good tag team.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, that's just it. I feel like they could have did more.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure how many tag team titles they won.
Yeah, really.
Not in WWF, apparently.
I don't believe so now.
But it was a good match. The Fantastics won.
Yes.
You kind of forget how funny Jim Cornette could be.
Yeah.
And just, I haven't, like, I should put that shit on TikTok.
Just his antics and his over exaggeration, funny as hell.
Yeah. Like he kept doing this, and then
He's like, he held his tights, and he's jumping up and down, and then he's throwing himself to the floor, throwing a fit like you see a toddler throw. Oh yeah.
that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But a very good match.
Now as time went on, Cornette did not really settle down, but he wasn't as theatrical, I would put it, as, back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Of course, when he was, managing in the 80s, he was fairly young.
Oh yeah, like, he was, like, a baby face, if you will.
Yeah.
And that's just, it's cool, because he's been in the business for over 40 years.
Yeah.
And that's pretty, like, and he's also a wrestling historian. Like,
Yeah.
you watch his stuff on Dark Side of the Ring, and it's like, yeah, he's got tons of information.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, well liked? Not really.
Yeah, not really.
But that's because he calls it like it is.
Yeah.
Now we got the NWA World Championship. They've got Ric Flair putting the title on the line against the modern day warrior, Kerry Von Erich.
Yes. And this was not long after the passing of David.
Yes.
They had, of course, the match with Rick and Kerry at Dallas Arena. It was an outdoor stadium, whatever, where Kerry actually took the title from Rick. This was, of course, for the memorial of David. And then, Rick won the title back in Japan. They had this rematch at the Union Arena in downtown Dallas. Rick gets disqualified, throwing Kerry over the top rope, which is something used quite frequently.
Yeah.
And there was like some representatives of the NWA in attendance. They had like Crockett and a couple others. And he's like, well, we talked to the president of the NWA, and as soon as there's an arena available in Dallas in a week, 14-day, we're going to have the rematch, and if Rick gets disqualified, he loses the title to Kerry.
I mean, those two have had some epic battles.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the thing that, I don't know, gets mentioned enough. I'm sure it does.
Right.
The one feud that Ric Flair has is with Kerry Von Erich.
Yes.
But, very good match.
Yeah, it went the way it went. Yeah, like I said, they announced their rematch for not a couple of weeks. And then we had a Loser Leaves Town elimination match. Kind of like a 6-man tag match, but it was every man for himself, sort of.
Yeah.
You had Terry Bam Bam Gordy, Buddy Jack Roberts, and Jake Donovan taking on Skandar Akbar, The Missing Link, and Mr. X.
Yeah.
Now we have talked about Skandar Akbar many times, but mostly as in the managerial aspect, but he did wrestle.
That's where I knew him from. I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Well, in World Class Championship Wrestling, he had a stable called Damnation Incorporated. It was, and he had like the Missing Link and several other people in that stable he had.
But, I mean, that was a good battle royal. Or,
Something along those lines. It was an elimination, well, yeah, it's an elimination match.
Terry Gordy ended up going over.
Yeah.
Not literally, but
No, yeah, he won.
yeah. I mean, Missing Link is one of those guys that, man, if you were alive today,
Yeah.
could you imagine Undertaker and, like, I'm not quite sure when exactly he passed away, but
Yeah.
yeah, Undertaker or Mankind.
Yeah.
Or any match with all those guys.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was a very unique individual.
Indeed.
And Terry, you know, after the accident in Japan, he just was a different person.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, coming back as the Executioner in WWF, and I'm like, I'm sick and tired of people saying that, oh, they made fun of him because he was half brain dead or whatever. It's like, he had a job. What else?
Yeah. What else do you want from the guy?
I mean, that's just it. Like, he was still moving, he was still, I don't know if he was talking that much,
Yeah.
but yeah, he wasn't all there. But again, there was a lot of wrestlers that were like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, it was a pretty good battle royal. We have a lumberjack match. We have Kevin Von Erich, who took on and defeated Gentleman Chris Adams.
Yes.
And there was a segment that, you know, was Chris Adams, Jake Roberts, the Von Erichs, and Gary Hart.
Yeah. Yeah. Kevin was, friends with Chris Adams, and Chris started to align himself with Gary Hart and, Gino Hernandez, and there was a match involving, I think it was Kevin, Chris, and Gino, or Jake, something along those lines.
Yeah.
And Kevin was defending her, and then, he pushes Gary down and takes a super kick from Chris, and then they ended up feuding, and yeah.
Chris Adams had a super kick that would make Shawn Michaels blush.
Oh yeah.
It was so quick, like, it was insane.
Oh yeah. Chris at that time had one of the best super kicks in the business.
I mean, if you could take somebody's eye out literally,
Yeah.
I mean, jeez.
This is a guy that I'm surprised doesn't get talked about more.
No,
Much like talking about the Fantastics don't really get talked about that much, if at all. Chris Adams was a hell of a performer, hell of a wrestler.
and once again, and I will say this, like I said in the last video, if he kept his nose clean, he'd still be here today.
Right, yeah.
But he was murdered in an unfortunate incident
Yeah.
with a friend, and you know, that is what it is.
Sad to say, but it's true.
This was a good match though,
Right.
and Kevin won.
Yes.
Of course, he celebrated with Mike, which was another sad story in itself.
Yeah.
The Von Erichs are a tragedy altogether,
Yeah.
but
And then, speaking of Mike, we go on to this tag team match. Mike teaming with Billy Haynes, taking out Gino Hernandez and Jake Roberts.
yeah,
Yeah, prior to being, well, they were going on Jake the Snake
yeah.
at this event, but or we really knew him as Jake the Snake Roberts in WWF. He's wearing karate pants and boots and yeah.
He looked a lot taller back then.
Yeah, taller, slimmer.
Jake Roberts and Gino Hernandez. It was definitely a whip Christmas before they came out. But this was a really good match too.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't see the DDT, but
no,
definitely, yeah, there was a point where I put the claw on Jake and I said to Mario, forehead's bleeding. And I don't know why, because the claw wasn't that, like, devastating, but I guess Jake must have bleeded at some point.
I think so.
Yeah.
You know, making it seem like, oh, if I squeeze your head, your veins will pop and you'll bleed.
Yeah.
Well, it was the same thing in the match with Kerry and Rick. You know, Rick's forehead is bleeding as well. From the claw.
Yeah, but Rick's always bleeding.
Yeah.
But this was a pretty good match. And yeah, Mike and Billy Jack won.
Yes.
I mean, this show, obviously, and we should do another one of those Star Wars. I don't know if we did one before.
Maybe?
I mean, I'll look it up.
Yeah.
But, like I said, it was kind of like the WrestleMania of WCCW.
Essentially, yeah.
I mean, they had, I think, one every month. Obviously, if you have Thanksgiving, Labor Day, Christmas. I'm not sure about Easter, but like,
Yeah.
it was a very good show. And I mean, yeah. I don't know what else to say,
Yeah.
except I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's been a wonderful year. Well, that's a lie, but it's been a wonderful year for reviews.
Exactly.
And we will see you next year. So with that, I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Feliz Navidad,
Joyeux Noel.
and many more. And for me, Matt, this is Killer Kyle, and take care.